When you are picking players for your basketball team, if you want to reach the championship game, you might want to make your first pick Mark Wilcox. As a sophomore at St. Peter's High School, Mark helped his team reach the championship game of the Greater Middlesex Conference Tournament. As a junior, he was the only returning starter, and he averaged 17.5 points per game, leading his Cardinals to a 17-10 record and earned all-area honors. As a senior co-captain and vice president of the senior class, Mark was named to the GMC All-Conference team, was the GMC Male Scholar Athlete, the GMC Player of the Year, a first-team All-Middlesex County selection, the Middlesex County Player of the Year, a Parochial B All-State pick, and a McDonald's All-American. He graduated with 1,080 career points, making 104 three-point field goals. For his efforts, Mark was elected to the St. Peter's Sports Hall of Fame. As a rookie at Rider, Mark played in 27 games, starting 6, and helped the Brocs reach the East Coast Conference Championship game, televised live on ESPN. Although he started just 6 games as a rookie, he was named to the 5-man ECC All-Rookie team. He ranked 3rd in the conference that year in three-point field goal percentage and led the Brocs in foul shooting after making the first 13 college foul shots he took, matching his uniform number. As a sophomore, Mark was second only to Rider's career scoring leader Derek Suber in scoring and minutes played, and was second in the entire ECC in assist and three-point field goal percentage.
He was probably one of the hardest workers we had. I mean, Mark's like, a little 6-foot guy, probably weighed about $160, soaking wet. I mean, you'd see him walking around at times with the rest of us. You'd have 6'10", 6'6", and then 6-foot guy. You almost didn't think he was a basketball player, but he wasn't the guy who's going to go out and score 30 points in a game. But I mean, he'd score 14 points, make a couple big threes, get to the line late in the game, knock down the free throws, pick up a charge, make a good defensive stop. But he wasn't the guy who's going to go out and score 30, and obviously he wasn't going up, dazzling the crowd with dunks. But I mean, just clutch when when he needed to be. When he was asked to call upon, his number was called. He was there and ready to go.
The Brocs moved from the East Coast Conference to the Northeast Conference for the 1992-93 season, and Mark moved from starting point guard to the role of 6th man. Even though he only started 5 games, his value was obvious when he finished 3rd on the team in minutes played, and again led his team to a championship game. In the postseason, Mark made all 10 of his foul shots in the quarterfinal win over Long Island. Down the stretch, he made 55 of the final 59 foul shots of the season and 9 of the last 19 three-point field goals he took. And even though he didn't start the NEC championship game, he finished it when teammate Derek Suber made the shot that sent a standing room only crowd in Alumni Gymnasium into a frenzy, and the 19-10 Brocs into the NCAA tournament. As a senior, Mark returned to his starting role, but this time, instead of being the point guard, he was moved to the shooting guard spot and made a league-high 76 three-point field goals with the second-best shooting percentage in the conference. On a team that produced 4 players scoring in double figures, Mark was the game's leading scorer 6 times, including 23 points at the University of Maryland, 30 points in a conference win at Monmouth, and 31 points in a three-point conference win over conference nemesis Wagner.
We went to Monmouth, who was a big rivalry at the time, and we were playing really, really well, and we just destroyed them. Everything he threw up went in, and Mark wasn't the kind of guy that would get 30, 31. Like he could have an effect on a game by getting 12 or 15, and couple assists and playing good defense and coming up with some loose balls, but this one was one where he just looked like a legitimate big-time scorer. And one of the guys that was a little bit negative was an assistant at Monmouth when we signed him, was saying that he didn't think Mark was a Division I player. And I couldn't help but say something to him after the game. You know, Mark had 31, we won by over 20. And we had a pretty good relationship, me and the other assistant. I said to him, I said, you still think that Wilcox kid isn't a Division I player?
On February 3rd, 1990, Mark scored his 1,000th career point at St. Peter's High School. On February 3rd, 1994, exactly 4 years to the day, Mark scored his 1,000th career point for Ryder as the Bronx won a Northeast Conference game against St. Francis College of New York. That night, Mark became just the 18th member of the Ryder 1,000 Point Club.
And the fact, you know, that he was able to score 1,000 points, and even on the same day that he scored his 1,000th point in high school, which is, you know, kind of ironic. But, you know, those kind of things just kind of, you know, just that's all just the stuff on the side. But unfortunately, you know, the stats is what got him this, you know, accomplishment of being in the Hall of Fame. But that's never what Mark was about. Mark was more about the team and his teammates in the program.
Mark earned all conference honors as a senior, leading the conference in three-point field goals made. And once again, Mark led his team to a championship game, defeating Monmouth 62-56 to give Ryder back-to-back Northeast Conference championships and back-to-back appearances in the NCAA tournament. In the NCAA tournament, the Bronx were matched against the fourth best team in the nation, the University of Connecticut. With a game plan of just surviving from timeout to timeout, the Bronx did more than just that. Led by Wilcox, the score was tied at the first timeout. At the second timeout, Ryder led. At the third timeout, Ryder led 18-15. At the fourth timeout, Ryder was within 2 points, 26-24, and at halftime, the score was tied 29-29, and the Nassau Coliseum was buzzing about Wilcox and the Ryder Bronx, who simply would not go away quietly.
His stats are very, very good, but his stats don't tell the whole story. He played with guys that produced better stats than he did, but yet he was the one that a lot of people talked about, and he was consistent through that run of success. You know, and he brought good stats, but he brought more than that from an intangible point of view. And I think the Hall of Fame committee members and everybody that remembers him, that sticks out because, you know, yes, his stats are very, very good, but there's more to that equation with Mark Wilcox.
Mark graduated 13th in career scoring and was 4th in career assists. He played in 116 Ryder games, second most ever, and returned for the 1994-95 season as an assistant coach. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the Ryder University Athletics Hall of Fame, hoopster extraordinaire, Mark Wilcox.